You've worked hard to earn and save. Now it's time to make your money work hard for you. This is Empower Your Retirement with Frank and Frankie Guida of A Better Way Financial.
Gentlemen, one of the things that I always love hearing is the pride in your voices when you speak of the folks of Allentown and the Lehigh Valley, these good, honest, salt of the earth, hardworking people that you know. I mean, you're of these people yourself. You are community men. So you have, and Frank, I mean, we talk about helping people for over 2 decades. For you, it's been longer than that.
It's funny because Nicholas usually introduces me at the workshops, and he says that I've been doing this for 4 decades, and then I get up there and I go, 4 decades. I mean, geez, I must be old, you know.
I don't feel like I'm that old.
Yeah, what happened, you know? I feel like I'm like in my early 30s, you know.
That's it. In your head, you still are. And that's the thing for folks that you're helping in this phase of life, too. They're all feeling the same things. They're like, I know, right? Where did the time go?
It's crazy. It's crazy. But, you know, it's the beauty of doing what you enjoy doing.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, and helping people is what I enjoy doing.
Yep.
And then I got this young man here, one of the smartest people I know, fiduciary, retirement planner, certified financial planner. Folks come in and they look at this young man and they're like, wow. He really does know a lot.
Obviously, you are a proud papa. In case you are new to the radio program, Frankie is obviously Frank's son. So another thing that obviously gives you a lot of pride, again, is this family business that you've worked so hard to build. And now knowing that Frankie is coming along and working alongside you and growing in the business as well, a huge pride point for your team and the business that you're growing. I was thinking about the people of the Lehigh Valley and you guys when I was reading this first article. I said, excuse me, when I read this, how dare you? This article on moneytalksnews.com talking about how we might be hardworking and salt of the earth, but apparently we're dumb when it comes to our money. Rude. The dumb money mistakes, not just anybody, but people over the age of 50 are making. And guys, talking about Frankie being a certified financial planner, talking about all the experience you have, Frank. Apparently, one of the big things that we're not doing is hiring a financial advisor. So let's talk about the work that you do and the benefits of coming to somebody like you rather than continuing this DIY going it alone thing in retirement.
Well, you know, it's actually the exact opposite. The folks here are really, really smart. You know, they are bright people. Many of them have done phenomenal jobs accumulating money and that type of thing. But, you know, when you approach retirement age and you get into your retirement years, things change.
Yeah.
You know, the way you do things need to change. And it's not that these people aren't smart. They're very smart. But a lot of times they just don't know the difference. They don't know that they need to change. You know, nobody's taught them. Nobody's taught them why they need to change things when they retire, why they need to change the way they invest. You know, how to pick Social Security. You know, it seems, you know, well, okay, we'll look at this number. Let's see what we should do. You know, it's not, there's a whole lot more that gets involved with it. How to pick the proper pension plans.
Right.
This is really, really important stuff for these folks.
Yeah, and just having another person, another set of eyes looking through your retirement just makes it so much easier because it's not just you going into it. And someone who's never done a financial plan for other people, someone who's never had to navigate a retirement trying to do it all on their own. It's just not a recipe for success. But having a financial planning and a retirement planning team that focuses on helping hundreds of households through their retirement each and every day. I mean, this is what we're doing. We're helping people all the time. So to have that experience and bring that to the table, it makes it a lot easier for someone who's looking to have that help in their retirement, who's just looking to make sure that they're getting everything right. And that's what we bring to the table. We bring that experience of helping other people, of showing, hey, we've done this before, and it made more sense to turn on your Social Security later, for example, or to take the income option on your pension, or to purchase an annuity to provide guaranteed income. You know, we look into the things that they have options for and show them these are the pros and cons of the different options, and this is what we can do to make your financial plan better. So just looking through what those options are and being able to show them. And then at the end of the day, it's their decision anyways. It's like being a do-it-yourself investor where you get to still choose everything.
That's good.
But you have the added advantage of having multiple sets of options and knowing the pros and cons of options you might not have even known that you've had.
There are things that happen that, throughout people's retirements that weren't there before. Tax law changes, different changes in the government, things that are happening, things that can affect their retirement that they have no idea of, and they should be enjoying their retirement during their retirement years. But having us here, we're never going to give them a call that says, hey, we just heard about this great stock tip. That's not us.
Right.
But we are going to give them a call and say, hey, the government just changed this tax law and can affect you. And this is what, these are your options. These are the things that you want to consider doing at this point. That's what we're here for.
And at the end of the day, we also have the financial planning software that we can utilize to be able to show what a successful retirement could look like financially. And that can make a huge difference. A lot of my friends who do the do-it-yourself investing, they use the Excel spreadsheets, and it's like you could be great in Excel, you could be an engineer, but it's not the same. It doesn't take into account inflation. It doesn't take into account a lot of the things that need to be taken into account.
How the stock market
as far
can
as
behave.
Tax laws changes and everything else. So it's so important to utilize the financial planning software, work with a company who focuses on retirement planning to make sure that you have dotted all your I's and crossed all your T's to make sure that you don't have to worry about running out of money in retirement. How do we get the income that you need in your retirement if you're still working? How do we make that as smooth of a transition as we can throughout your retirement? If you're maybe retired already, how do we still look at the tax picture? How do we minimize your tax burden in retirement? How do we make sure that you're passing on your estate tax efficiently to your beneficiaries? And this is all stuff that we look at within the retirement plan that we build for you. So if you're 55 and older and you've saved $500,000 or more for your retirement, give us a call right now for your complimentary retirement plan that we're going to be offering right now to the next 5 callers. 610-440-3722. That's 610-440-3722.
It kind of reminds me, when we talk about do-it-yourselfers, we had this do-it-yourselfer come in one time. The guy was brilliant. I mean, this guy was really, really smart. He was in his, I guess he was in his mid-70s or so. And this fella had taken a little bank in his career and turned it into a great big bank. He was the CFO of that company. I mean, he was just really bright. So we sat there, and he came to one of our dinner workshops, probably just out of curiosity, see what we were doing, that kind of thing. And he decided, he liked us. He decided to come in and chat with us. So he comes in, we take all his information, and we show him what we would do if we were him. And he says to us, Frank, I'm going to take this information home and I'm going to analyze it. I'm going to come back in 2 weeks and tell you what I think.
Okay.
He comes back in 2 weeks and he says, Frank, I have analyzed this. I have, really looked through it. And I want to let you know I could do better.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay.
And he said, but not by much.
Interesting.
And he goes, and I sit here and I say to myself, I work on this stuff 4 hours a day. Now, he's retired. He has no reason to do it other than his own stuff.
Okay.
He goes, but I look through these investments and the whole thing, and I analyze 4 hours a day, how I should be investing in all of this stuff. And then I think to myself, you know what? It's really not much different than what these guys are doing.
What's the cost, really? Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, and to myself, he goes, I'm retired now. Why am I spending 4 hours a day doing this? And then he sits there and goes, what a wonderful thing for you guys to be able to do this for folks that don't have my expertise and don't have my knowledge. And then he goes, but then I started also thinking, here I am in my mid-70s. He goes, and every once in a while, I feel like I'm not as sharp as I used to be. He goes, when do I start feeling like I can't do this the way I used to do it anymore? Or when do I start making mistakes? And when I start making mistakes, do I even realize them? And then he started saying, well, what if something were to happen to me? My wife has no interest in this. He goes, who would I be able to trust to be able to handle this type of thing for him? Yep. He said, I really like what you guys do here.
Yeah, and this is not an uncommon story. This is not something that we, don't hear. This is something that we help people with all the time, looking through what are the different options they have? How can we show people how to optimize their retirement? And by working together and just showing them what are the pros and the cons of the different options they have, it can really empower them to live the retirement that they want. They can learn how much income am I going to live on for the rest of my life without having to worry about running out of money. What strategies can I use to save money in taxes? How do I protect my retirement nest egg? If these are questions that you have, we're going to be able to get those answers for you by putting together a complimentary retirement plan. So if you're 55 and older and you save $500,000 or more, give us a call right now for your complimentary retirement plan and review. We are offering this right now to the next 5 callers. So give us a call, 610-440-3722. That's 610-440-3722.
You worked so hard to get to this point in your life. Obviously, you were smart and hardworking. You don't want to make dumb money mistakes just because the lack of financial literacy that's plaguing this entire country. Fortunately, at A Better Way Financial here in the Lehigh Valley, you've got somebody to walk alongside you in this process. Again, that number to dial, 610-440-3722.
Thanks for listening to Empower Your Retirement with Frank and Frankie Guida. To learn more, visit abetterwayfinancial.com. By contacting us, we'll review aspects of your retirement portfolio to include suggestions about how best to utilize estate, tax, and retirement planning strategies and other financial services, or if changing management styles is appropriate for your specific needs and objectives. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendations to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. A Better Way Financial is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any client experiences discussed during this show are unique to that client, and they are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Advisory services offered through A Better Way Financial. Insurance offered through licensed professionals at A Better Way Financial. Pennsylvania Insurance License number 301779.